come all of us. Bless the one who blesses. Come all of you. Come all of us. Bless the one who blesses. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessings. Blessed is this moment now and every now to come. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed is this moment now and every now to come. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple B'nai Or. Here's the Shabbat before Purim. Purim, of course, starts Thursday night. We're in the month of Adar, the month that brings joy, the month that when you enter, joy increases. So I am overjoyed to be with you wherever you are. So let's, with joy, welcome each other. Put a Shabbat Shalom in the chat or in the comments if you're on YouTube. Say something also. I asked this to the preschoolers this morning, so you adults should be able to do it too. Say something that is bringing you joy right now. Write something that's bringing you joy right now. And what do you hope and Shabbat will bring you joy? Something that you'll experience in Shabbat that might bring you joy. So enjoy, with joy. Let's welcome Shabbat with the lighting of our candles. I am overjoyed to welcome the Califer family, Brody with his parents, Corey and Jonathan and his brother Zachary. Let's light our Shabbat candles.
Oh, hear our prayer, we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear our prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We welcome Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat. We begin our tefillah tonight by welcoming the angels. Who are the angels in all of our lives? We sing together Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamelachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ochem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamelachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Li melech, malachei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Tzedchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Malachei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, basru b'yom le'yom yeshuato. Sing unto God a new song. Let's sing together. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, basru b'yom le'yom yeshuato. Sapru hagoyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim nifle'otav, ki gadol Adonai u'me'ulal b'mo, Torahu ha'kol ha'elohim. Let's sing together. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, basru b'yom le'yom yeshuato.
We come to L'Chadodi on page 20. I spoke a bit last week about the first verse where it says Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, or a few weeks ago I spoke about this verse, and I want to do it again because it has this word zachor, which means to remember. Usually, in the context of the verse here, Zachor Shabbat, remembering Shabbat, means to fulfill the commandments of Shabbat, to do the positive commandments like Kiddush, like resting, like having joyous meals. But I want to dig into this word Zachor because today is called Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat of remembrance. And we use this word Zachor different times in different forms, like Yizkor is a service of memory, of memorial that we have at our festivals. But why is a Shabbat Zachor? This is a Shabbat where we're supposed to remember. In traditional synagogues, you read an added reading about the biblical enemies Amalek, that you're supposed to wipe out their names, remember Amalek, to wipe out their memory in a way. And why is that connected to Purim? Because Haman is descended from Amalek in the Bible. Now, I've been thinking a lot about memory, and we're supposed to remember this tragedy, this tragic time. But a year ago, in Jewish time at least, right at Purim, right at this time is when we began our lockdowns. And what does it mean to remember this past year, this whole year cycle that we're coming to now in the Jewish calendar, that Purim becomes kind of a new New Year's in our situation today? So what are we remembering this year at Shabbat Zachor? We're remembering last Purim when we heard about a virus, but we didn't really know what it meant for us. And we're remembering this whole year of 400-something thousand deaths in America, more millions across the world. We're remembering our fear, but we're mixing it with our joy that we're commanded to have right now. So memory is filled with all kinds of emotions. It's filled with emotions. It's filled with telling stories. It's filled with memorial. Someday, there will become liturgies. There'll become civic religion, if you will, about memorial about this time. We're not there yet, but we're beginning to be there. We're beginning to see the end of the pandemic. We're beginning to see where these will become memorials, memories. And this Shabbat Zachor might become a new, or the Shabbat Purim itself might become for us a new way of thinking about our own stories. So L'chadodi is on page 20, Shamor v'Zachor, keep and remember.
B'nei Shabbat nekah לקראת כלה ב'nei Shabbat nekah שמור וזכור לדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לחדודי לקראת כלה ב'nei Shabbat nekah לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מכם לשוחה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה יאללה לחדודי יאללה לקראת כלה יאללה ב'nei Shabbat nekah התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה יאללה לחדודי יאללה לקראת כלה יאללה ב'nei Shabbat nekah אוי ושלום עטרת בלט גם בשמחה ובצהוב סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה יאללה לה 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 חדדי יאללה לה 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 לקראת קלה יאללה לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה. If you have risen in the last verse of the Chadodi, please stay standing. If you're comfortable, if this is your minhag, if you prefer to stay seated because that's how you're more focused, please do that. But this is our Baruch Hu, our call to worship. It's an invitation to rise if you're able.
Pray with me on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שלו, חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעני ברבים.
אמן.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אתה תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם, לעולם ועד. If you have risen, please be seated at this time. Continue with Ve'ahavta. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Met.
Adonai Elohim Emet.
Page 39, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Yep, we know it. Let's sing. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו ביד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen.
To riff on the theme of Zachor and Lizkor, to remember, this is Shabbat Zachor. I attended a Shabbat service at 1:30 in London today, and they talked about Shabbat Zachor, and this memory of blotting the name of Amalek associated with Purim as Zachor, as a reminder for us, associated with Hashkivenu, to protect the ones who are weak, the ones who need our support. And so I'd like to direct your focus and your attention to this remembering, to this reminder, as we continue with Hashkivenu. Next.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'taknenu b'etzat tova milpanecha, v'hoshienu leman shemecha.
And I want to thank our gorgeous, I agree, Jody, gorgeous Hashkivenu and gorgeous prayer leaders, Hallie Beyer, Jen Bronsnick, and Amy Herbiter. And a little bit more memory from Lizkor at Shabbat Shira, which was only a few weeks back. And now we remember to keep Shabbat, Lishmor, with our favorite tune. ושמרו בני ישראל לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ביני ובני ישראל אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. And I'll add my, what makes me joyful is to see all of you singing in the little windows in the Zoom. And even though I can't hear you, I can hear you in my head. So thank you for participating and singing along and being here and praying together, being together. We continue with Amidah. Amidah, again, is an invitation to stand up if we would like to extend ourselves from our very feet to the very top of our head. Extend our bodies, extend our arms, maybe take a stretch, and definitely think about the prayer experience being part in our body, noticing how we feel, leaving the stress of the week behind and really entering into Shabbat. We ask God to open up our lips so that whatever it is that we have to pray for, we can find those words. We begin together as one community and we continue individually. Lev tahor bali Elohim, ruach nachon chadesh bekirbi, al tashlicheni milfanecha, veruach kodshecha אל תיקח ממני, אל תשליכני מלפניך, ורוח קודשך אל תיקח ממני, אדוני. שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך, אדוני. שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך, שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך, אדוני. שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
We think of our loved ones who are in need of healing, refuah shlema, complete healing of body, of spirit. This Shabbat, we are praying for Charlotte Aberman, Marilyn Askin, Joyce Becker, Larry Benson, Margot Blaustein, Eric Blyer, Claudia DeJesu, Nicholas DeJesu, Ted Freed, Mary Jo Glazer, Jerry Gundy, Lena Alexandrova, Berlovich Hammer, Oliver David Horn, Sheila Karner, Gay Clapman, Leon Kurland, Joseph Lupkin, Lori Mazzarella, Michael Morrissey, Danny New, Reese Osmond, Barbara Perrette, Judy Rago, Bob C. Rifkin, David Rifkin, Eileen Reinfleisch, Karen Russo, Don Rubin, Barbara Sabiri, Deb Sabiri, Bernice Seid, Glenn Swatinsky, Marjorie Van Dow, Lisa Wolper, and Edie Weinstein. If there are others you're praying for, please feel free to put their names in the chat. We pray our prayer for healing together.
May the source of strife, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Our parasha this week, our Torah portion is Truma. For a lot of people, when they read this Torah portion, it's like an IKEA instruction manual. It's very detailed about where every single thing goes to build the Mishkan, the desert sanctuary our people took with them in their wanderings in Egypt. And actually, much of the rest of the book of Exodus is about this building. When I study this with bar mitzvah kids, the kids who love Lego really get this. The kids who love details really love this. When I study this with synagogue boards, they pick up a different part of the Torah portion, because right at the beginning, God tells Moses to start a fundraiser to have the funds to build this sanctuary. And it says every single person gave from their heart. And the Torah says later that they gave so much that they had a surplus. They had to tell the people to stop. So take note of that. But what I want to talk about tonight, actually, I want you to talk about tonight. Tonight, as we've done a few times in the past, I'm going to randomly put you into breakout rooms to talk about this verse. Vasuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham, and let them make me, God, a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. So I'm going to put in the chat right now, some questions to ponder in your group. What is a sanctuary? How does it feel that we can't regularly go into TBO's sanctuary? And then I want you to open up and tell your stories. How do you create a sanctuary so that God can dwell? So you have to look in the chat, you can see those questions. I think if I put you into breakout rooms, you can still see the questions. I think so.
I just want to say, yeah, you can, but I just want to say that last time you invited people from the YouTube to come back to the Zoom.
Right.
So
Sorry, thank you.
I'm redoing that. So if you want to participate and you're on the YouTube, join us on this.
If you're on YouTube, please come on to Zoom. If you can't come on Zoom, discuss with the people you're around or start putting into the comments on YouTube. So I'm going to put you into breakout rooms for a couple of minutes. And I'll periodically come through to see how the discussions are going. And let's see where these stories go. So you'll see something pop up on your screen. Go press the OK or whatever it says to go to that breakout room right now. Josh, if you can, remind me how I go to a breakout room again. Oh, I see. Never mind.
Okay, cool.
as you're welcome back, as you're coming back to the main sanctuary from the classrooms, the hallways, and just imagining yourself all over the building at B'nai Or, and now you're coming back into the sanctuary. Just looking, not everybody's back yet, or we might have lost some people. That's okay too.
The breakout room said you had 60 seconds, so maybe people are finishing up.
Yeah, people are still coming back on. Well, I want to leave us with a quote from Yeshayahu Leibovich, who was a great Israeli gadfly. He was he was a scientist. He was a Jewish thinker, and he was a thorn in the side of many Israeli politicians. But he also wrote beautiful things about the Torah. And here's a comment on this week's Torah portion. They will make me a sanctuary that I may dwell in their midst. When people construct a sanctuary in honor of God, they bring the Shekhinah, God's presence, down to dwell among them. The world acquires significance and value if within its framework, people serve God. So let me say that again. The world acquires significance and value. Maybe he's saying only if within its framework, people serve God. It is not the world in itself that is significant. What is significance is the service of God in the world. What we do in the world is what brings the world significance. And that is why the parasha of the sanctuary, this week's parasha, is so much more prominent in the Torah than the parasha of creation. The Torah dwells chapter after chapter after chapter on building the Mishkan, the sanctuary. Mishkan means God's dwelling place. It only dwells 2 chapters on the creation of the world. So what we do to construct the Mishkan, maybe the Torah is saying the sanctuary is of more significance. It's what gives the world significance. I hope you all, I know you all, had meaningful conversations. I hope you continue to have meaningful conversations this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. So let us begin to conclude our service on page 282. Please rise in spirit, rise in body.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, love to each one of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We now think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We think of the recent death of Dr. J. R. Goldman, and we are in the period of Shloshim, the first month of mourning of Rita Weber and Shirley Fleischaker Platt. And this week marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of Arnold Albin, Fred Bernstein, Michael Bernstein, Evelyn Barbaros Birsch, John Bishop, K. Sammy Blasberg, Sam Chase, Danny Gottsagen, Ethel Gutterwill, Claude Hagelberg, Stella Halpern, Eileen Hallway, Louis Levis, Sydney Mayer, Jane McKee, Ruth Pomerantz, Edith Ratcliffe, Rosario John Renda, Renee Sands, Lawrence Saltzman, Regina Schick, Elva Schwartz, Jack Schwartz, Mildred Stern, Mary L. Tolkoff, Harry Wasserman, and Sander Weinstein. If there are others we're remembering, please say their names out loud. Please put their names in the chat. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for blessing. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. If you're mourning and want to hear others' voices, please feel free to unmute yourself. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei, yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemed kudesha richu ve'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushpechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Enter. I heard Purim is coming up.
Good segue.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put on my costume. So before we bring Brody back to lead us in Kiddush, Brody, get ready. I'd like to remind everybody that on Thursday night is Erev Chag Purim, and we are going to enjoy a wonderful Purim spiel directed by excellent Sky Monroe. And we have some of our members here who are going to star in it. It's going to be super fun and funny. And there's no other place to be next Thursday night at 7:30. So please join us, Erev Chag Purim, for our Purim spiel.
What?
And it is the season to do a lot of that. It's commanded to do that. And there's a few more mitzvot. Rabbi will...
Well, what music is this Purim spiel going to be a parody of?
Mamma mia, here I go again, mama.
Very nice. And so, yes, and you might have already received your Purim, your Mishloach Manot, your Purim gifts. Purim is, of course, the gift-giving holiday for Jews. And I think I see Stacy Schlosser. Did all of them go out already?
Stacy, you're muted. So if you're saying something.
Everybody has picked up their boxes to deliver, but not all have been delivered.
Not all have been delivered. I see. So
Wonder-
your neighbors might be a little late in delivering your Purim box. And late meaning not today, but maybe
So
coming
by
up soon.
Sunday.
Sunday. So you will all have, because of our generous donors and gifts for Purim food and fun, and there's a gift to wear during our Purim spiel. So please join us. And Sunday you can join us with kids, or you don't have to be a kid for our Purim puppet show starting at 9 a.m. on Zoom. And there's a
And
lot.
while we're in the thanks, we thank our sponsors and all our deliverers, all of our
Yes,
leaders
of
who are
course.
amazing at reaching out in these difficult times too. So thank you to everybody so much. We're so touched by our wonderful leaders.
And you can bake hamantashen on Tuesday.
Yes,
Right.
Sisterhood is having a hamantashen bake on Tuesday at 8 p.m. led by Nona, who's here somewhere. So thank you.
In one of those little
Nona.
boxes.
Yeah. Very nice. So now let's bring back Broden Califer with his family to lead us in Kiddush.
Can we spotlight them?
Yeah.
All right. Ready? Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
I've never seen these people before.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon yinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta michol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ava uvratzon hinhaltanu baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Drink up. All right, Brody. Voila.
Holla.
Go ahead.
Oh, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.